if you can demand a lot of attention, which Cletus absolutely does when he does a live stream while racing, there's 40, 60,000 people watching that.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of NASCAR's most influential voices, has just made a statement about Cletus McFarland that's turning heads across the motorsport world. Known for his measured words, Dale Jr. doesn't hand out praise lightly, so when he spoke up about Cletus, it sparked an important conversation. His remarks are challenging the traditional views of racing and shining a light on how unconventional figures like Cletus are reshaping the future of NASCAR. What started as a simple comment has turned into a full discussion about Cletus's talent, adaptability, and his ability to bring something new to the sport. Cletus McFarland, with his background in YouTube car culture, might seem like an unlikely candidate for racing at the highest levels, but according to Dale Jr., that's exactly what makes Cletus stand out. Cletus McFarland's journey into racing doesn't follow the traditional route. In the world of motorsports, there's a well-established ladder: go-karts, late models, ARCA, trucks, Xfinity, and finally the Cup Series. Cletus, however, didn't follow this path. Instead, he made his mark on YouTube before transitioning to ARCA racing with barely a pause. He started with his videos documenting car builds, racing experiments, and track days, which gained him a significant following. While other drivers like Carson Hocevar and William Byron have found success in unique ways, none have entered racing quite like Cletus. In fact, Dale Jr. pointed out, there are no rules to this. His journey, though unconventional, has clearly resonated with Dale, who recognizes Cletus's determination and drive to succeed. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had the opportunity to watch Cletus firsthand during his RCA debut at Daytona. The footage was telling, and Dale's reaction speaks volumes about Cletus's potential. I see a lot of the things that he doesn't know, but as the race went on, he adapted and he learned and he got better. He started to understand where and how to push the car, Dale observed. This quick learning curve impressed Dale, who went on to explain how Cletus's ability to understand where and how to push the car was evident as the race progressed.
Look, man, there's no rules to this. You got a guy coming in and he tried to race ARCA, and I watched his in-car at Bristol, and I see a lot of the things that he doesn't know. But as the race went on, he adapted and he learned and he got better, right? And he started to understand where and how to push the car. And so a ton of this stuff is completely foreign to him.
But that didn't stop Cletus from rising to the challenge. For Dale Jr., this demonstrated a key trait of a successful racer: the ability to adapt quickly and improve with each lap. Dale Jr. was also careful to put things in perspective, acknowledging that it's not unusual for someone like Cletus, at his age, to jump into racing and go straight to ARCA.
It's not out of the question for a guy his age to say, hey, I want to go race, and that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to go right into an ARCA car. I'm not going to run a street stock or a mini stock or a late model or anything like that. I'm going right to ARCA, and I'm going right to Daytona. That's not a new thing.
While Cletus's path may seem unusual, it's not unheard of in racing. Cletus is not just a driver, he's a content creator, and his impact extends far beyond the racetrack. He built the Freedom Factory, a venue for grassroots racing and a hub for car culture where fans and enthusiasts can experience racing in a community-driven environment. Cletus's success in the digital space has allowed him to build a massive following, and his influence is now reaching into the world of professional motorsports. This ability to engage and attract fans from all walks of life is something that impressed Dale. It was exciting to realize they were reaching fans who might never have watched a NASCAR show before, Dale said, acknowledging that Cletus is helping to grow the sport and bringing a new generation of fans into the fold. Cletus's online presence isn't just about showing off cars, it's about building a community, something that NASCAR and motorsports in general need in order to thrive in the digital age. This ability to make racing accessible and relatable is a huge asset for the sport, and Cletus is doing it in ways many others in motorsports can't. What also stood out to Dale Jr. was Cletus's character. After recording the Dale Jr. Download podcast, Dale and his team went out to lunch to celebrate. But before they could finish their meal, Cletus had already paid for the entire tab. That's just who he is, Dale shared. There were no cameras, no fanfare, just a quiet act of generosity. Dale saw this as a sign of Cletus's authenticity, something rare in today's world. For Dale, this moment underscored why Cletus is good for the sport. His personality and the way he interacts with others have earned him respect, not just from fans, but from established figures in the sport. He's good for the sport, Dale said, making it clear that Cletus's impact goes beyond what he does on the track.
He's good for the sport. He's good for us. We're all curious.
This authenticity and generosity set Cletus apart in a world where many people are focused solely on their brand or public persona. Cletus's ability to stay grounded and make genuine connections with people adds another layer to his appeal and why he's becoming such a significant figure in motorsports. Cletus's journey into ARCA and his subsequent races have shown significant improvement, even if his debut was rough around the edges. Dale Jr. noted that Cletus's growth was evident in his later performances, particularly at Daytona. His ARCA debut showed rawness, yes, but also a steep curve of improvement.
You know, I watched his in-car, his ARCA race at Bristol, and tried to really truly see what he's learning as a driver. Watch his entry, his line, how he picks the throttle up, and how he really evolved as that race went on was really interesting to me.
Yeah. This continuous growth is a clear sign of Cletus's potential to move up the ranks, and it's one of the reasons Dale believes he's a valuable addition to the sport. There's already talk of more opportunities for Cletus in the racing world. Rumors suggest that Cowlig Racing might be hosting a Gong Show, a reality-style competition to find new racing talent, with Cletus possibly taking part. While nothing has been confirmed, this type of competition could provide Cletus with another opportunity to prove himself in front of a wider audience. In today's motorsports landscape, a driver's impact goes beyond just lap times. Fan engagement and social media influence are just as important as racing skill. Cletus has proven that he can engage an audience on a massive scale. He streams his races live to tens of thousands of viewers, fills venues with his events, and sells out merchandise, all things that make him an incredibly valuable asset for teams and manufacturers. As Dale pointed out, manufacturers like Dodge pay attention to those numbers. Racing teams are starting to look at a driver's fan base as much as their on-track performance. Cletus's ability to connect with fans is something that NASCAR and other racing series are beginning to recognize as just as important as winning races. Despite his non-traditional path into the sport, Cletus McFarland's presence in NASCAR is growing, and it seems the door to the highest levels of racing is open for him. Cletus's ability to entertain, grow his brand, and connect with fans has given him a unique position in motorsports. His influence has brought new attention to NASCAR, and with Dale Earnhardt Jr. backing him, it's clear that Cletus has a strong future ahead. Dale Jr. summed it up well.
We got a lot more out of this than I think he did. He didn't need us.
This statement is particularly powerful because it suggests that Cletus's rise to prominence is not a matter of necessity for him. It's simply a reflection of his talent, passion, and the direction he's taken his career. With Cletus continuing to grow his media empire, his racing career is only set to expand. NASCAR has started to embrace unconventional paths into the sport, and Cletus McFarland is a prime example of this new wave of racers. The future of NASCAR may look very different from the past, and Cletus is leading that change.